We're live.
We're live?
Yeah, we're live. You can be more chill. Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of Thought Daughter. I'm your host, and today we have a very, very special guest. This is my fiance, my best friend, my motivator, my world.
What's up, guys?
It's true. Jack has been there for literally ever, but he also does motivate me. My self-doubt episodes I have, he will always tell me to keep going. He's the reason why I'm doing this stuff. Because I love to do social media, but sometimes I think, like, am I being stupid? Do I need to shut the fuck up? But he always encourages me to keep going, and I love that. So, yeah, now we're here, and today we're going to do more of a couple-oriented podcast. First thing we wanted to talk about was how we met. I get a lot of questions on our love story because on TikTok I'll talk about how we're high school sweethearts, and I've gotten a lot of questions and DMs about how we made it work, how we met, what's our love story. So we are gonna get into that right now. We've kind of known each other forever. I want to say like since like 4th grade, and but we didn't actually start seriously talking until like high school. He had a little middle school crush on me, right?
I had a little middle school crush. It wasn't anything crazy. We never talked or nothing. I just thought she was cute.
Yeah, and then in high school is when he asked me to homecoming, and then we went, and it was actually fun.
Yeah, we actually danced and like laughed.
Yeah.
We got along really well, and this was to the point where like I actually wanted to talk to her. And,
Well,
like,
yeah, he
hang
did.
out.
I was like still unsure of myself at that point.
I had feelings for her, but I liked her.
Yeah, and I wasn't like allowed to have a boyfriend yet, so it just didn't work out, and he ended up just like going a separate way. And we actually went our separate ways for like a year and a half. We did not talk to each other. We were not friends. We were just like completely off the radar for each other.
But through that whole year, like I had been the one who was like, "Oh, you can't hang out or have a boyfriend, whatever, I'm done." Not wanting to pursue it, but like literally right after that, I was like, what the fuck did I do? Like I don't care. I would rather just like be friends and like, or at least know she liked me or something. Like I don't need to have all that. But it got to the point where like, we talked to other people, but for me, nothing else really compared to Bella is like all boring and blah, and everything I compared to her.
Yeah.
I was like wanting her back the whole year. I was like, I want her, but I didn't think I could get her.
And I thought that we were never going to get together, like ever. I never saw him in my future at all, which is crazy because obviously here we are. But then he came around junior year, and I kind of put it all behind me, like what had happened and stuff. And our friend groups kind of meshed, and he was like really good at sports, and I did dance, so like I would have to go to the games, and I don't know, he like slowly came back into my life in a weird way. And then we started to be friends, just like completely friends, like no feelings. I would just act like myself, and then we just like to be around each other because I don't know, I thought he was funny.
We meshed really well, but I had, back in my mind, I still had feelings for her, like I wanted her, so my game was like I wasn't gonna make any dumb moves while she was letting me get back into her life. Like if we were just gonna be friends, I was gonna let her be friends. But like there was a flirty vibe, like always. So I was like, oh, there's gonna be a move made by.
It was just
I'm gonna
like
let
fun.
her make the move, and then once I know she's into me, I'm gonna go for it all.
Yeah.
So.
It was
That was
fun
my
though.
plan.
Like I felt like we were just friends. Like we were just so funny. That's what I remember the most. Like I just remember being
We
so funny
laughed.
with him, like just always having jokes and stuff.
We still
and then,
are, but
yeah, but I feel like that's how it started. And it was like it started on accident. I don't know, it's the weirdest thing. But then after that, you ended up asking me to lunch, right?
yeah, but that was just like another friend thing. I just wanted to like spend some time with you
Right.
outside of like COVID school, and like maybe a party every here and they're barely seeing her. I wanted to like actually like get some time with her.
Yeah, so then we ended
Alone.
up going. I put it off for like 2 weeks though, because I was like, in the back of my mind, I was thinking about what happened last time, and like if I really wanted to do that, and what if it led to a relationship and I wasn't ready, and I don't know. So I put it off for 2 weeks, and then he asked me again, and I was like, okay, let's just go. So then we went, and it actually was so fun. I was,
It was chill.
I
It
was
wasn't
in
anything
I was in shock.
crazy. It was just I wasn't gonna do anything until like I saw something, or like her make a move.
But it was fun.
Like yeah, it was just his friends. Like she literally paid for her own shit, and like I was just like whatever. Like we're the vibe. Like oh yeah, I'm here to like impress you and shit.
Yeah.
No, I was just there to be friends.
Yeah, we literally listened to music. We drove around. We made TikToks. I don't know. It was just really fun. We literally talked about everything too. Like we knew each other, but we didn't. That was my first sign that I kind of felt like I liked him. And I was like, there's no way that I could like him after all of this. I never thought he'd be coming back. And then sure enough, probably a few months later in July, he ends up asking me to be his girlfriend.
So she eventually made a move, and I was like all in. And so I said it, and we started hanging out more and got really deep, and I asked her out.
Yeah, that was like in July. And then...
Yeah, going into senior year.
Yeah. July going into senior year. But we get questions all the time about like how we made it work. I feel like it's all about growing together and just being a better person for each other. I mean, not like we're a perfect couple by any means and we should be giving advice because we're the best. No, it's not like that. It's just I've gotten that question a lot, and I feel
it's our
from
take on it,
our experience, it's just listening to each other, changing for each other and for ourselves. We definitely had our hardships like any other couple, and we had to make a decision to move on from those hardships and grow together because you are going through this huge growing period. We were 17 when we got together, and now we're 20, 21 and 20. About to be 22 and 21.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of growing that happens.
Speaking of growing together, like I wasn't the same guy I am today. I was into drugs and vaping for sure, but like smoking and drinking. And there was a point in our relationship where I decided I needed to cut all that out. Not really cut all of it out, but
you ended up stopping.
Yeah, I ended up stopping nicotine, which was really hard. Weed like that too. So
yeah,
I mean,
I don't drink still, and I mean I had my little like trial phases, I guess, or whatever, but I was never into it like he was, which is fine. But ultimately, it kind of started with me, I feel like, kind of just showing him like it's not all about that, because at one point in his life, that's what he was doing with his friends all the time. And a lot of people would say like, oh, your girlfriend's controlling you, like, oh, she made you stop, it's her fault. When behind closed doors, it was something that, yes, even though it kind of started with me where he saw like that wasn't me and what I was doing, and he kind of realized that and then opened his eyes to that's not all the fun. That's not smoking, drinking, whatever isn't all the fun. You know what I mean? Like there's more to life.
Yeah.
You ended up just stopping completely, which was one of those things I was talking about where like you're not the same person back then, and he could have chose to grow apart from me and say, nah, like I'll just keep doing me, and if she doesn't like that, then she can leave. He could have just been closed-minded.
Yeah. In relationships, you have to compromise for each other and listen. And to me, I knew I needed to stop those bad habits, especially like vaping and smoking, because it was really damaging to my body, especially how much I was doing it on a daily basis.
Yeah.
And so I've always known I wasn't going to do that forever, and I guess it was kind of perfect timing in my life for Belle to come in and kind of push me in the right direction. Not push me, but like help move me in the right direction.
Yeah.
I needed the push, and I was the one who did it. It wasn't her making me. I fucking was like, all right, well.
Like, at the end of the day, it is a decision.
Yeah,
you know
I finally
I mean?
got the girl I want, and she's telling me, like, this isn't good for you. This isn't how it should be for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Fuck it. So when I was quitting, I was like, like every time I want it. If you have nicotine addiction, it's like every time you think about it, you want it so bad. But I would just in my head be like, it's this or Bella. Like,
yeah,
you
and
gotta eventually stop at some point.
Yeah, that's just like
away.
one of the main kind of things that I remember early on, kind of deciding like this is what we want to do, this is what we want to commit to, because he also helped me become a better person as well. Like it's not just like a one-sided thing that you go through. It's on both sides. You commit to growing together, especially when you do meet at such a young age in high school. And I feel from our experience, that is one of the biggest things that has helped our relationship be consistent and stay to where it's at right now, because of the fact that we chose to grow together. It's such a pivotal point in your life when you go from being a teenager to being an early adult. So
Yeah, you can't really just have them grow around you. Like, maybe there'll be someone out there who does that, but it's not good for them. Like, you both have to agree to disagree on
Yeah.
some things. Like, you gotta
have to know
do
when you're
it.
wrong.
Like, know when you're wrong and do the hard things that may not seem fair, not fair, but like right. Like, you don't want to do this. Fuck. Like, it was so like I love
just
vaping,
have
I love
always-
smoking, but it's like fuck that. I'd rather be with her. I'd rather
Yeah.
live a healthy lifestyle. And
yeah.
it was hard in the moment, but now I look back and I'm like,
Yeah, I was going to say,
I
do
don't
you
even need
regret
it.
that?
No,
Like,
I'm so
do you regret
happy.
not stopping? Even if it was your decision, we experienced having people be like,
oh
it was
yeah,
definitely
I had friends
her.
who were fucking assholes, and like a lot of my friends I hung out with, they just smoked with me. Like before I got with Belle, and when I got with Belle, I kind of started settling down, and I kind of lost some friendships because of it, because all they wanted to do was smoke, and like I was like, let's hang out. They just invited me to watch them smoke, and
But it became a like, you're doing it because of me rather than, like, people can actually make their own
Yeah.
decisions, you know what I
they
mean?
didn't even ask. It's like they're assuming it's like, oh Bella, oh it's.
But
it's
that's- I
Bella,
feel like that's so
your pussy
universal.
wants
I
this and
feel
that.
like
it's like, bro.
People always
No.
assume it's the
I
girlfriend, like,
finally
being
got the
controlling.
one I wanted, and they're fucking over there talking shit. It's like, can
It's
you
just
just be
a lot.
happy? Like, it's bettering, but some people are gonna be like that, and you just gotta live with it. It was a hard time losing friends like that, but
Yeah.
it is what it is. I made some better ones.
Those are just some examples of when I was talking about how you grow together, and I think that's definitely the number one thing that I feel that's the answer. Maybe, I don't know, there's no obviously definitive answer, but I feel like that's the biggest thing I can say, at least in our relationship right now, having been together for almost 4 years, that I think has helped our relationship be consistent and stable. Another thing was knowing that it was a good relationship to fight for. That is the key word, a good relationship. It's not like you can't fight for a relationship that's toxic, you know? Like, we've had our arguments and our fights, and we know that we are good for each other. But I think it would be different if we were toxic and, you know, still fighting for a relationship. And that's like another thing that I would probably recommend to people. If it's a toxic person that doesn't treat you well, that doesn't care to build a bond with your family or anything like that, it's kind of like, why would you pursue that and keep going? Someone asked if we've ever broken up or anything. We've never.
Yeah, we never have broken up. I mean, we've had fights, but nothing
Yeah.
has ever like made me want to ever leave.
I mean, there was only one time where we came close, but we never ended up. That was like super early on in our relationship, but we never actually broke up. Another one I'd gotten asked was if we ever did long distance or what our college situation is. And we actually we're going to different colleges now. But in the beginning, your freshman year, we did mid-distance. And I just want to give props to all the girls and boyfriends out there that have to do long distance, because
It's tough.
it was
So hard.
45 minutes away, and I hated it. I hated doing it. It was manageable, but I did not like it.
Well, we had to do it because like it's like 45 minutes is close in reality. Like, it's a quick little
Yeah.
drive, but every night, like when I have to wake up in the morning for class or
Like,
go to
just sometimes
class,
it just wouldn't work out.
like we would literally go the whole week without seeing each other until
Yeah.
weekends, and it was like tough.
Yeah, it was tough because we had spent
Waiting
the
for
whole
that
summer and
day,
everything
yeah.
together. And we only live 5 minutes apart from each other, which is really nice, but it went from that to like being apart. But I know college can be a hard time for couples, and I'm not going to lie and say like wasn't nervous, I guess. Not that I thought he would cheat, but you just hear the stories, and obviously I'm not going to be there. And, you know, it's just like that does really happen. So I kind of had that in the back of my mind, and, you know, we just have to talk through it and like reassure each other, because like, yes, he wasn't even going to be here either, like at my house, or knowing what I was doing at my college or who I was talking to. But it's just all about reassurance, I feel like, in that at that time in our lives when we were
I
doing
feel
that.
like that time in our lives really built up our trust for each other too.
Yeah.
Like I had to trust and you had to trust, like, we weren't doing anything dumb, and you couldn't really know, but you could tell. I mean, if there was something fishy, and there was never anything fishy. Like,
it gets exhausting though. Like it'll get exhausting, like constantly thinking and worrying.
And then I got to the point where I was like, it's her loss if she does anything. Like, we have such a fun relationship. Like, there's no way she would do anything.
I also think
it was tough. Like, FaceTiming and texting all the time.
Yeah, it was not great, but I mean, we did it and it was fine. And I think it was a good time too. Like, I got to meet his friends over there. And I ended up going to school there for a little bit too. And I don't know, it was nice. It was nice. It was nice-ish. I don't know. It wasn't great, but I was going to ask you, I mean, I guess it's a vice versa thing, but I did community college and I would commute from home, so I wasn't dormed with anyone or anything. You were dormed with 3 other people. Did you ever get a feeling of temptation because you were around single people and, like, they would have girls or whatever?
No, I mean, they would have girls over and shit, but they would, like, hang out in the living area, and I would be like, fuck that. I do not want to be in there. Like, I would hang out with my roommates and play cards with them, but when there was girls over, I would just be in my room because I was like, first of all, I have no fucking interest to talk to any of those girls. Did not have any fucking interest whatsoever at all. Like, I was so set on Bella, and I was, like, freshman year, I was a good student too. I was just doing my shit in my room. I wasn't focused on anything else but Bella, school, video games.
And your friends, I feel like you were still, like, hanging out with your friends.
Yeah, but no, there was single people all the time. Luckily it wasn't a combined dorm. I had my own room, so I could just lock my door, chill in my room.
Yeah, I mean, there was even a few times when I went over and, like, girls would just barge in. It was definitely a different setting for sure. Being in a relationship so young, you do, at times, at least for me, I've experienced having single friends and feeling like I'm missing out. And I used to have a friend who would constantly tell me, like, you don't know what you're missing. Like, you're so young. Like, you need to be experimenting and blah, blah, blah. And I'm not friends with that person anymore because a good friend wouldn't do that. For a good friend, you don't want to push your friend that's in a relationship to be single. I don't know. That doesn't make sense to me. But I've definitely been around that. And at times I had second guess, like, damn, I am young. Is this what I want forever? Blah, blah, blah. But you kind of look at the bigger picture, and when you find your person, it's not... that's not easy, especially not now. But I feel like we literally are made for each other, and it'd be stupid to lose it. I know that's something that a lot of couples face, is like being tempted, especially separated from their partner in college, where you're surrounded by a lot of people who are trying to find their people, and dating and hookup culture is a whole thing. So
we made it though. Grew all that.
Yeah, we made it.
I mean, I still go to college, meet every day. She still does, and
yeah, we're still separate right now.
But it's like, no, nothing. It's only you.
Yeah, we both go to separate colleges right now, but we just make it work. And, like, I feel like obviously we've matured now to where we're kind of more adults than we were before. So we're kind of just like work, school, homework.
Never tempt me away from you.
Yeah, me either. I'm okay with being in this relationship for the rest of my life. Like, I very much have come to terms with that. I don't...
Me too. He's my best friend.
I don't understand that, like, how people cheat and stuff. It's kind of crazy.
So really fucked up. Like, so fucked up. Could never do that.
The last thing we're covering that someone asked was the green flags you look for in a partner. And I feel like, for me, at least, it was the fact that you were funny. Love that you have a sense of humor and that you laugh. And then obviously looks, like, I kind of like, you're tall, you have nice features, and you're nice. You're like a nice, kind person. Like, I never saw you as rude or mean. You never treated me mean. You were always so open-minded. And that was another big one for me because we're interracial couple where he's coming into a whole new culture that he wasn't raised in, and it was nice to see that he was open-minded about our food, our dancing, learning our language, literally everything. Like I don't think I could have been with you if you were like, no, I'm not gonna do that, or like I'm not gonna try that, or just being super judgmental. And so I really liked that about him.
We're shy and just like to myself.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah.
Like, I ain't trying to dance in front of your family right now.
Yeah, just like that kind of
Do
stuff
funny
that I
shit
really,
like that.
I appreciated that. And other good green flags, you were always willing to learn, I will say. Like even when we would ever have arguments or fights, you were always willing to learn and actually change. So those are some things that I saw in you that I was like, okay, green flag. Green flag, green flag.
There's a lot of favorites, but I just love how I can be friends with Bella, and life isn't all about like her being my girlfriend. I mean, obviously she'll always be my girlfriend, but I can be with her without having to worry about impressing her or like putting on a show. We can just make each other laugh.
Like you can just be yourself.
Yes, we can be ourselves, and that's the thing. Like she makes me laugh, I make her laugh. It's not all kisses and shit.
Yeah, it's like not just romantic.
Yeah, it's like not awkward ever. Another huge one is I love how she's always been there for me and I've been there for her. Like we got each other's back.
Yeah.
Always. Like if something bad happens or she needs someone to back her up on this, I'll be there forever. Or I'll, like what she was saying earlier, like if she's doubting herself, I'll always have her back.
Yeah. Which has helped a lot because I've had a lot of self-doubt.
But I'm always here, so.
Yeah.
A couple more things, of course. She's very kind, sweet, beautiful. Holy shit. She's so pretty. And we have a lot of the same hobbies, too. And
Yeah, true.
the list goes on, but my biggest thing is how we can just be ourselves around each other. It's so nice. And it's something I think people should look for.
Yeah. I think it's a very clear line of like good and bad. Obviously, if the person doesn't want to pay attention to you and doesn't want to put effort in, then it's kind of a good big sign saying, next person, leave them alone. I think that about covers it. That was the last thing we kind of wanted to go over. Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining me on this episode.
Thank you for having me. I love you so much. And
I love you too.
I'll always be here for you.
Thank you so much for listening and being here and watching. If you have any other questions, feel free to DM me on TikTok or Instagram or leave a comment on this video. Don't forget to give it a like if you liked it. And we'll see you next time on Thought Daughter. Bye.
And I call you Rose.
We like a flower
Is that how it
in
goes?
June, I think.
Can I call you Rose?
Fa 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 fa. Hey, woman number 7, bed, drop it like it's hot. This world, concrete flowers grow.
Grow.